Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again, news and views. And I told you I was going to do a follow-up on the unsung story about Switch. And I told you to make note of something, um, specifically the story of Tommy Debarge, right? And my heart really go out to that family. My heart really goes out to that family. Before I get started, let me shout out to everybody. Havard and Hardu, Gudak, Ola, Oi to the Bay, Basas Los, Bonjour, Miss Me, Kidu, Babani, Konnichiwa, Ni hao, ni ma, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Habari Gani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom, and to my brother out in Deutschland, Guten Morgen. This is a heavy way to say it, but it is the truth. And I wanted to point this out because the desire for whiteness by the black woman, acceptance as white, acceptance in a white culture, because she already was accepted by her own. So there's the insatiable challenge to one up that. And as I kept saying, that in general, black women in general choose evil. They find the most evil and then they justify it. After the children been all through the hell, they justify it. That's the modern day black woman. And then when they don't want, they get in solidarity with one another and line up to war against good men, but then get mad when the other women are taking the good men. And they're not taking the good men. The good men are saying, you're not worth us going through hell with you because we have a better place for you. But instead of wanting to do better, you want to do bad and drag the good black man down with you so that you can make an excuse to be with even the worst white men. And I'm not saying white men are the worst. I'm saying that when black women pick a white man or a thug, you got it. You got the premise. And as I was talking to a few black women that had married white men, divorced, they had their children, they got pushed back in the black community, but these women were still after the white men, and many of them were in the military, the women were. And if you ask me, they were sleeping their way to the top. If you ask me, at least on the army side, that seemed to be true. And not all of them, but many of them were talking to the white men. Like when you see a black woman in the army talking to a white man, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Because statistics say, and the average say that if you're going to bet, that's the truth. And in this, the child ends up being raised by the single black mother. All right. Because as one dude, I forget his name, say a lot of them marry for BAQ, extra money. But then the black women think they're going to be in charge of that money, and the white man's hit, no, you just got me extra money. All right. And so then I came up with this because as I looked at the story of the Debarge's children, the mother was responsible for this. And that's where I came up with my title. Tommy Debarge's Black American mother was was responsible for his and his siblings' hell because they went through hell. Now peep out the story. Again, I just want to hold on for a second. Let me remind you, let's get those thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to click the bell. All right. My donation link for what this channel does will be in the description box. If you want to know what this channel is about, type in, well, you got my thing, REFUGETEMPLENABI Neo, in the search engine and click on favelas. All right. And you'll see what we're about. See, the same thing that I do in the favelas, I was doing in the communities here. All right. It's highly restricted because why reward the BAW for the treachery that she has done to the Afro men? Remember, you don't need our resources. We're not tall enough. All right. We're not thug enough. We're not whatever the reason enough. All right. And brothers, we got to keep it real. If they ain't kicking us no draws, and if they kicking it to the thugs, then the thugs, it's their duty to take care of them. All right. Period. Lock, stock, and barrel. It's their duty to take care of their, you know, Eve. All right. Eve love evil. So let evil take care of her.
For Bobby and his 9 siblings, music was more than a hobby. It was all that made their young lives bearable.
My father was very abusive for the first 5 of us, which was Bobby, Tommy, and myself, Randy, and Mark.
It wasn't really the type of environment that you would expect talented people to come from because they would probably be crushed by that background.
A troubled Caucasian truck driver, married to an African-American homemaker, Robert Debarge Sr. took his frustrations out on his wife, Ederline, and their 10 children. As the eldest son, Bobby often caught the brunt of his father's rage.
Bobby was abused mentally, physically, sexually, and any other kind of way by his father. Bobby feared his father. He wanted very little to do with him. He was a sick guy. Outwardly, of course, Ederline loved her children, and I don't think she saw things through realistic eyes sometimes.
That caused us to live in fear, basically. We still had music, though. We started singing in church, and believing in God helped us to get through some of the things that we were going through at home, and helped us believe, that one day everything was going to be all right.
But for Bobby, there were some things even singing couldn't help him escape.
Now, this is what she don't realize. All the church in the world did not lift the curse on that family for that woman having a seed by that man. Understand this. And that woman probably so alienated her family that she could not go to them as her children were going through such horrific abuse. I keep saying this, that many times these children end up the way that they are because the main person that's been going at them is the man that the black woman picked to be in the house. Period. What did I say about black women choosing a good man? She'll kick a good man to the curb all day long for a white man that is violent, sexually abusive, and all the rest of that. And then she'll bring up one friend of hers that she knew. Well, my friend, her boyfriend, he abused her one day and stuff. And then you go look at it, and yeah, her boyfriend did because he was a thug from the street. He was a good man. And when you go look at it again, yeah, he had a criminal record of 100 miles long, a violent criminal record. See, black women always have an excuse for rejecting good and collaborating with evil. All right? But the gatekeeper, the black mother, can't be the gatekeeper when you choose the devil to come into the gates. And these children went through hell. All right? And even then, when you look back and people are still trying to make excuse for the black woman. I don't know. I don't have the chance to ask any of the children, but I'm pretty sure that they to this day don't feel like that mother loved them to allow them to go through all the hell and physical, sexual, violent abuse that they went through. All that black woman did was just keep popping out children for this white man. All right. And I'm not saying that because white is bad. I'm saying that this dude was bad, but she wanted that whiteness so much that she didn't care about the quality of the man. Like the modern day black women today. All right. It was easier for him to abuse black children, which were really white children, but he didn't see it that way because he didn't respect the black woman. So he ain't going to respect anything that come out of her is because he's been taught from childhood that that ain't his seed anyway. Once you put that little bit of color in there, then it's a black child. It's not a white child. You see? So that's the mentality there. That's basically where it goes. So he didn't have to respect the children because he didn't have no respect for the mother. Because the mother, after all, chose him. And he didn't get like that overnight. The black woman always have as an excuse, oh, he was good when I first met him, but then all of a sudden he changed. No, that's bull. That's revisionist history. And we're not going to revisit the revisionist history. All right. And so that's the whole thing in this. These children were brutally abused. And the other thing is they could do the abuse, and then people think, for you people that think church is going to help, that dude died waiting on help from the white Jesus. They sang the white Jesus. They did everything. That family still is hurting. You know why? Because they are not taught to deal with it properly, which is there's only one way to properly deal with that. But it's not in the ways of Jesus. So that whole family is destroyed because of this. The family to the next generation. Els Debarge had hell of a struggle. So I've been saying for a while, and I've been saying to black women that the black women have been betraying their family and the black men for the love of the most vile and vicious, right? And nobody could tell them anything. Then at the end of the day, they create a legacy of sorrow. Period. And these children end up crushed as adults. And it is so sad. So sad. But what's sadder is that there was no one to love them children growing up. And all they known is hate. And the hate, the genesis of it is this black mother. Why? Because she's the one that chose the man and gave her all to a man she knew had these evil ways. But she didn't care because he was white. In this day, they don't care if he's white. They don't care if he's any other race, or they don't care if he's a thug. But if you're a good man, they'll treat you like crap. And then when stuff start to go wrong for them, then they wonder why you as a good man ain't around, as a good black man. You sold us out. Treason. Bamboozled us. Tricked us into thinking that you actually care about the community and black people. Now we know you don't. So basically, I have decided to take my talents to people that actually care about me. So for those of you that want to understand where I go when I go to Brazil and what I do, well, I go and I take stuff, I help out, spend most of the day there, and I take the train to Bengal, and then come to think about it, with all the stuff going on, that's probably the most dangerous part of the trip. But still, got to go there. All right, I take the train there, and this is what I do, where I end up, and where I spend most of my time when I go to Brazil. All right. So, like I said, if you want to donate to the cause, do so. But there's other ways to help. Sharing the videos is one of them. Okay. But it's deep, man. It's deep. All right. So I just want, for those of you that are new to my channel and wonder why I do this and what I do it for. All right. Just pay attention.
If you want, I report to you, and you explain.
Okay.
If you want, I explain to you. But I don't know if in this video you want to.
No.
That
You just speak.
I can talk to.
Yes. I would prefer. I like when you talk.
And it's very good. Alô, Marlon.
Oi, seu amigo.
Americano aqui, para conhecer a favela. Ele é o Kibiwi, vem visitar a gente. Esse é o Marlon. A mãe dele. Aí vem para dar uma filmada, para mostrar nos States. Que a gente passa aqui.
Isso é verdade. Isso é verdade.
Ele é lá do Texas.
Cubby holes all over the place. See, music is still alive here. Oba! Bem? Olá! Hey!
Esse é amigo.
A brother, y'all.
A brother.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think that when you work with self-esteem, you improve the future.
Right.
When we have children loved, you have less adults with guns, with weapons.
Weapons, yeah, that's right. So that's a good thing too. When you have children that have love, you have less adults with guns.
Yes.
And we could say that about where I'm from in America, because our problem is that the men believe that the women kick the men that would show fatherly love to the children, right? And so our children grow up without fathers, right? But these children grow up with the whole entire system not loving them, you know? And that's hopelessness right there, when the whole entire system don't like you. You know what I mean?
Yes. And this is our semente da manhã.
Full of bullet holes.
Let's stop, because there is the place where and the thieves get together.
Yeah.
So like, subscribe, comment, and share. Okay? And when you subscribe, don't forget hit that bell. Don't forget to go to Reluctant Nabi Neo. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow. We need to have a discussion about this. All right. And figure out what to do with the people that have all these pieces that's really effed up. All right. That's what we need to do. With that said, I'm out.